Hi guys, it's just me, Lori from Laura's World. I'm getting ready to do an interview with a gentleman that I don't know. His name is Brendan, and he has agreed to do an interview with me. He has this really, really cool company called Choose No Booze, and this is one of the shirts. One isn't an option. And I just love that because it is not an option for me. I don't know about anybody else. I have one and I got to have a million. Um, but we're going to hear his story and see what he has to say. And we'll even put up a link after. And if you want to get a shirt or two, feel free. They're great. They're nice and soft too. They're beautiful. I like it. I like it a lot. So,
Hey there.
how are you? I like your shirt. I've got mine on. One isn't an option.
Nice. I'm glad to see you wearing that.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Very, very nice to meet you.
Too. I've never met you besides Instagram, but thanks for having me
No
on.
worries. No worries. So this whole YouTube channel is all about sobriety. I have talked to people who are in AA, NA, Al-Anon, not doing a program, a 12-step program, all across the board, and what works for them.
Right.
And so I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you're in any programs. And so I'm going to be hearing just like the rest of everybody's going to be hearing. So I would love to hear a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so I'm not actually in a program at the moment.
Okay.
I did start drinking 20 years ago, and I made a few attempts at going sober before. The first time I really gave it a shot was probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
My most recent, attack at going sober started probably, it was actually in July of 2019. Between that time and now, I've been, really, trying to learn about sobriety, learn about my habits, observe myself. And, since I started, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but, the difference between this time as opposed to when I first tried is allowing myself room to fail, if I do, to get back up, to keep trying. So yeah, like I said, I'm not in a program. I have been in AA before. I tried AA about 5 years ago. But currently I'm 70 days sober. I got 70
Woo-hoo.
today. Yeah, it's been a crazy learning process,
Yes.
crazy learning process. But my method of sobriety is I really had to look inward, observe myself, and I started reading a lot of books. I read probably about 12 different books about it, and I became obsessed with sobriety and addiction and habit change, things like that. So 70
Good.
days though, 70 days.
That's amazing. That is amazing. In the beginning, it is one of the hardest things to do because we're so used to habits. They're habits.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what they are. And when we try to, I don't like to take people's direction. I have a hard head, do this, do that, do the other thing. And I'm like, yeah, I've got it. And every time I tried it my way, every time I tried it Lori's way, it was hard. But I like what you said about reading a lot, and because that's what I did. I read up on everything that I could. I finally said to myself, this is a disease. And how am I going to, be better? I remember a person just saying to me, can you just not drink today? Can you just not drink today? And I'm like, well, yeah, all right, today, just today.
Right.
When you wake up tomorrow morning, do it again. And so sometimes I, held on for dear life to get through that day. But, one day becomes 70 days, becomes 4,000 days. And it's not always easy, but it is so worth it. And when I was getting sober, I did it for my son, and sometimes that's not the best way to do it. But whatever
Yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah.
And it soon turned into, I'm doing this for myself. I had to do it for myself. So,
Yeah, that's the same way I feel. I mean, I had to do it for myself. I've always had a strong bond with my son.
mhm,
Um, he's 12 now, but I've always had this thought in my head. I was about 23 when he was born, and we separated when he was 9 months old. So I became so I have him like 2 days a week.
mhm,
So he's always been in my life, always very close. My problem was that I tried to manage both my drinking life and my parenting life at the same time, which just exhausted me because I was I wasn't choosing one over the other. I should have chosen one over the other, but it took me a long time. I thought that by drinking by drinking on the days when he's not with me, that's okay. And when he's with me, then I can stop drinking, and then I can go back to my
mhm.
pattern of drinking because I'm a pattern drinker. So I drink like I have a weekly pattern of drinking. I call it. I even had a name for it. I call it the 4-3 pattern, where it's like 4 days of binge drinking. And
Okay.
when I have one drink, it's just very difficult for me to stop that train from moving. So you know, I've always had him in my life, but I had to learn to just, you know, I had to learn to stop the boozing when he's not around because
Mhm.
I'm responsible for him 24/7, not just on the days I have him.
I like
You
that.
know what I mean? So if I'm on self-destruct mode Monday through Thursday, that's still going to affect him, even if he's not with me. So I had to learn that the hard way. It's been a crazy process, but
And there was a post that you did the other day that I really liked too, because it is, and I think that I saved it. um, because people think that just because we're, that we don't drink, that we've got a problem with it. And you had said, I said that I have a drinking problem. I did not say that drinking is a problem.
yeah,
And I really, really related to that. Um, for me,
hmm,
one isn't an option.
yeah,
I can't do it. Kudos to anybody that can. I do not bash it. If you can handle it, all the more power to you. I just have learned that I am one of those people that cannot. I can't handle it.
oh
And I
yeah,
love
no.
that. I was like, wow, that was really powerful for me.
Um, when it comes to my family, I have always been a heavy drinker, but I've been a very selective drinker. So especially when my son was born, I learned how to live a double life. I don't drink the same around my family as I would when I was alone in my apartment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alone in my apartment, I am an absolute binge drinker, chain smoker, and then I can put on a facade very easily. I learned how to hide my drinking masterfully, and like my tolerance for alcohol, um, I had a very strong tolerance, which means I could drink 12 beers over a 6 hour period, or and I could, I would make the dumbest mistakes. I would get behind the wheel, or I would be in the presence of family and friends, and I would dress nice. I would make sure I'm showered up. I would cover it up. I did a
Mm-hmm.
great job of covering it up for many years. But when I started to go sober back in 2019, it was summer 2019. One of the biggest things that helped me out was opening up to my family, letting them know that, look, I have a problem. I have these thoughts in my mind, and I'm tired of hiding them. I'm tired of it ruining my life. I opened up to my son. Like my son was 10 years old when I sat him down. And I told him, I'm like, look, Dad has a drinking problem, and I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna work on it.
Awesome.
Um, throughout the I think like a year and a half, but like throughout the year and a half, which is the past year and a half, it's been a crazy battle. Just getting these lengthy stretches of sobriety. Like the first stretch I had was 64 days, and I felt terrific, right? And then I fell down, and I made the mistake of thinking that I could hold down two beers at a bar, and I was wrong there. That turned into a 2 week bender. Um, So I learned how to kind of get back on the wagon, go for 30. So I've had these long stretches of sobriety, and like now I'm on the longest of all of these, and I feel really confident in what I've learned. But opening up to my family about it, even if I relapse, I'll let them know it's like, hey, look, this happened.
Hmm.
This happened. I need to get back up. Like, so if I fall down 9 times, I'm getting up 10. And that's like, until I reach this, until I master this, that's the way it's going to be. I have to keep going no matter what.
Good for you. Good for you. It's a daily reprieve. We get a daily reprieve from it,
Yeah.
and I admire you for, recognizing it and knowing, and not beating yourself up too badly on it. But you just got to keep on going. And I admire you for that. I really do admire you for that. Good for you, Brendan. Good for you. So tell me, when did you decide to, how did the shirts or the company or the Choose No Booze website all come about?
It came about during the pandemic.
Okay.
Uh, so I'm in the entertainment business.
Okay.
I'm a DJ, game host by night, and
Okay.
by day I'm a driver. I drive for Uber and Lyft during the day.
Okay.
So when the pandemic first hit, it brought on a whole bunch of new challenges. It also brought on a lovely little relapse as well. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So during the pandemic, I felt like I was in a boxing match, just falling down, getting back up, and getting back up. But I was looking for something to keep me on track, and also to, something that I'm passionate about, something that I can feel like I have purpose for. But so I lost a lot of gigs. The DJing business kind of took a spin in the toilet. I wasn't doing Uber or Lyft as much because I didn't want to. In the beginning of the pandemic, I didn't want to risk, getting in with passengers and whatnot. I said I'm going to try to do something online, and I've always had an interest in design. I just enjoy designing, but I never really pinpointed it or found a niche. And I've been on the Instagram, sober community for a year and a half now or so, and I've met a lot of people, and I've seen some people do this. They do like clothing lines dedicated to sobriety and addiction and whatnot, and there's a few people that I admire greatly within that. I said, let me give it a shot for myself. I started learning how to, put up a website, attach it to a print-on-demand company, learning about, just the whole lot. It was a whole lot. It took me 4 months to learn everything, probably. But it came about because I didn't have much going on during the pandemic. It probably came about because I was bored, right? But also very passionate about it. That's pretty much where it came about. I ordered every single one of them to kind of test them out for myself to see if it was something that would actually be high quality and this, that, and the other. And it just came to life from there. So thanks to the pandemic and boredom and not wanting to drink.
Well, I absolutely love them. Honest to goodness, I was like, I wasn't sure, shirts or they shrink after you wash them, and then, you can't wear them anymore. But these are really, really high quality, very, very soft. And I've washed them and worn them again and again. And
You gotta break them in.
yeah, they're wonderful. I really like them, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else that you do with the company. You gave me your email address and your phone number, and I know that we're in two different states. We're pretty close, but if you ever want to try a Zoom meeting or whatever, hit me up. I go to a bunch of them anytime I'm feeling a little squirrely, especially in the pandemic, because you can't get to meetings. There's nothing like getting on all over the world. You can go to Ireland if you want and just hit the button and just listen. And within a
Did
few
I
minutes,
mention I
you're
was
like,
born in Ireland, or did you just say that?
no, I said, you can go to Ireland on Zoom meeting.
I was born in Ireland.
No way.
I'm like, wait a second. I don't think I put that up. I'm like, yeah.
I love meeting people in recovery because we have this little special connection, don't we? We don't have to really say anything to each other. We know how we feel.
There's no need to explain it. You know what I mean? There's no need to explain it further, but we find ourselves in positions sometimes where we feel we have to explain it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to the the method of sobriety. Like you said, like it's not a one size fits all approach. Everyone has their own unique path.
Yes.
Worked for them, because I did try AA and I was in there. A buddy of mine who's an alcoholic, he's the one who got me into AA.
Hmm.
So, learning AA and meeting the people in AA, at first I was like, but I eventually learned to, just appreciate it. Any method that helps get
Hmm.
people sober and maintain sobriety,
Correct.
there's no harm in that.
Absolutely.
So to
Ab-
each their own. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brendan, thank you so much for doing this. I feel like I made a new friend. We'll definitely keep in touch, and I'm going to put up a little a link to your website so people could check out all the different things that you have, and and I look forward to seeing some new stuff that you come up with, and I want to wish you continued sobriety, but more importantly, good health, and just stay safe. Stay safe, my friend.
Same to you. Thank you so much for having me on. I really think it's great what you're doing. I love listening to other people's stories and struggles, and to see them all come out with it. Helps to normalize it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Good. Well, you
Cheers.
take care of yourself. Cheers. We'll see. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
All right, Lori. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I applaud him for coming on and sharing. Fairly new into sobriety, but I could tell that he wants it. I can tell that he really, really wants it, and I wish him all the best. And if anyone is struggling and they need someone to talk to, or you want to share your story, I'd be happy to get you some links to other sobriety pages, to other Zoom meetings from around the world, if you'd like to, helplines, whatever. Or if you just want to say hi, or reach out to me, I'm here. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Brendan, best of luck, my friend.